The collapse of the German campaign in Russia, leading to the occupation of much of Eastern Europe and the Balkans by Soviet forces in 1945, had its roots in events occurring some years earlier. Hitler had studied his history, even though he was inclined to draw fatally unbalanced conclusions from what he read. In the end, it was his intuitive rather than educated guidance of German strategy that lost him the war. He had long known that the Balkans had always spelt trouble, and initially held back from involvement in that glue pot. In 1939, after the conquest and dismemberment of Poland, he entered into the infamous pact with Stalin and turned his attention to France and Britain, his enemies in the West. By midsummer of 1940, it seemed that Nazi Germany had all but won the war and achieved all Hitler's strategic objectives. The swastika flag flew from the North Cape to the Spanish border, and the axis of Germany, Italy and Japan appeared firmly in the ascendant. But even as he received the rapturous plaudits of the crowds in Berlin following the defeat of France, Belgium and Holland and the expulsion of the British Expeditionary Force from the continent, Hitler was already nursing his wish to exterminate the forces of Bolshevism, and the only way to do that was to conquer the Soviet Union. Once this had been achieved by the destruction of the Red Army, Germany would have achieved a long-cherished ambition: the acquisition of vast tracts of territory that could be colonized by Germans, who would work the land and develop its industrial and economic potential using masses of slave labor provided by the Russian rural masses. For this, Hitler needed a secure southern flank, as well as the oil resources of Romania and Hungary. Initially, good German diplomacy seemed to be securing the alliances in Southeast Europe that would guarantee a bloodless campaign, whereby German influence could be firmly secured in the Balkans. But when Mussolini, hoping to match the success of the German march into Czechoslovakia in 1939, sent his army across the Albanian border into Greece in October 1940, Hitler's plans collapsed.